You know, when a huge app goes down, it can cost millions of dollars a minute. But have you ever wondered what's really happening in those first few critical seconds? Well, I can tell you, it's not panic, and it's definitely not magic. It's a playbook, and today we're going to walk right through it, step by step, and see how the very best teams turn absolute digital disasters into a masterclass in staying in control. So just imagine this for a second. You go to open your favorite app, the one you use every day, and nothing. It's just down. Now, behind that blank screen, what you don't see is this highly choreographed, high-stakes response kicking into gear. It's a race against the clock, and it's not just about fixing some bug. It's about managing pure chaos across a ton of different interconnected cloud platforms. So let's pull back the curtain and see what that really looks like. And this is the fundamental truth of pretty much any modern digital service. It's kind of a paradox, right? The more complex and reliable we try to make these systems, spreading them across AWS, Azure, Google, you name it, the harder it is to deal with a single failure. So, you see, the goal isn't to build some perfect, unbreakable system. That's impossible. The real goal is to build a perfect response. It's all about conquering the chaos. And guess what? Conquering that chaos starts long before any alarm bell ever rings. We are now in what is, without a doubt, the most critical phase of the whole thing, what you do before anything goes wrong. This is where the battle is actually won, not in the heat of the moment, but in the calm, quiet, deliberate preparation that forges order out of thin air. Okay, so right at the heart of all this preparation is one absolutely essential role, the incident commander. And honestly, the digital fire chief analogy is perfect. This person isn't always the most senior engineer, not at all. They're the person who can stay incredibly calm under pressure, who can coordinate all the moving parts. You've got database teams over here, networking folks over there, and just make those clear, decisive calls without getting bogged down in the technical weeds. Now, having a designated hero is a great start, but you can't just rely on one person. I mean, what happens if the big one hits while they're on a plane? Or what if it's 3 a.m. on a Saturday? This is where having a robust system becomes way more important than any single individual. The real question isn't just who's in charge, but how do you build a system that guarantees someone is always ready to step up and take command? Well, the answer is a super clear and fair rotation schedule. And believe me, this is so much more than just a list of names on a spreadsheet. It's a living, breathing system. You assign clear on-call blocks so everyone knows exactly when it's their turn. You define very specific handoff windows to make sure no critical info gets dropped. You have a protocol to actually confirm the next person is ready to go so there are no surprises. And you automate the heck out of all the alerts and reminders, building a system that just runs itself 24/7 without burning your people out. Okay, so let's play this out. It's the end of a long, stressful on-call shift. The system is still down, the current incident commander is completely exhausted, and a new one is supposed to take over. This right here, this is one of the most dangerous moments in any crisis. So what happens now? This moment is where a defined handoff protocol is absolutely everything. On one side, you have total chaos, missed details, dropped context, dangerous assumptions, and so much wasted time while the new commander tries to figure out what's going on. But on the other side, you have a structured, clear handoff. Key info is shared, receipt is confirmed, and the transition is totally seamless. One of these leads to an even deeper crisis, and the other leads to a much faster resolution. It's that simple. So, all that prep work is done, the team is ready, the systems are in place. But now, the alarms are blaring. The playbook is about to get put to the ultimate test as we navigate this outage in real time. The alert fires. It's 3 a.m. Of course it is. The on-call engineer's heart starts pounding. But they don't panic. You know why? Because they know exactly what to do. They open the playbook, and the very first page they turn to is one of the most important ones in the whole book, the escalation paths. Now, this is not about just calling everyone at once and hoping for the best. No way. It's a structured, tiered response. Within 5 minutes, that first responder is on it, investigating. If they can't crack it within a set time, let's say 30 minutes, the incident commander gets automatically paged. From there, the commander can bring in specialist teams and notify leadership with a status update. This timeline is brilliant because it prevents burnout and makes sure the right people with the right expertise get involved at exactly the right time. Okay, so after hours of intense, focused work, the system is back online. The crisis is over. But the work? Oh, the work is not done. In fact, you could argue the most important work is just getting started. It's time for the blameless postmortem where the real learning happens after the dust settles. This quote from Henry Ford just captures the entire philosophy perfectly. An outage is not a failure if you learn from it. The real failure is going through all that stress, all that pain, only to have the exact same problem pop up again 6 months down the road because nothing was truly fixed at the root. So this is the most crucial part of this whole section. The number one rule of these reviews is that they are completely 100% blameless. The second you start pointing fingers at people, they stop being honest. And then you learn nothing. You're not looking for a person to blame. You're looking for a flaw in the system. Maybe it's a technical gap. Maybe a process wasn't clear. Maybe there was a blind spot in your monitoring. That's what you're hunting for. And to do this right, you follow a really structured set of questions. First, just the facts. What happened technically? Then, what was the real impact on our users? Because that's the bottom line. Then you have to ask, what went well? This is so important because you want to reinforce and codify the things that worked. And finally, the biggest question of all, how do we prevent this entire class of problem from ever happening again? This is what moves you from just fixing a symptom to actually curing the disease. And this is where it all comes full circle. The answers to all those questions, they become the script for your training. You take the findings from a real painful outage and you turn them into realistic fire drills and practice simulations. This creates this incredible feedback loop where every single incident actually makes the team and the entire system stronger and way more resilient. So as we kind of zoom out here, you can start to see that what we're really talking about is architecting for resilience. And that resilience, it's not just a checklist of tools you bought or some documents you wrote, it's a culture. And that right there is the real takeaway from this entire playbook. Yeah, it's designed for multi-cloud disasters, but these principles are universal. This is a human system. It's all about creating clear roles, structured communication, and a blameless way of learning, all designed to help people maintain clarity and control when the pressure is at its absolute highest. Because in our incredibly complex world, whether we're talking about digital infrastructure or really any other field, crisis isn't a possibility. It's an inevitability. It's going to happen. The only question left is your playbook ready?